Mindful longevity. Oh my goodness, we've just been talking about that so much this morning already. Finding joy in the ordinary. Do you realize if we could master our thoughts, we could very well live forever, maybe even into eternity and beyond? It's amazing how much our thoughts impact our physiology and lead to problems that we really don't want to deal with. And that's one of my biggest passions in life is to see people be happy. Unfortunately, I can't make them happy. I can encourage them to experience the joy of everyday life and find joy in the ordinary. And if I can get them to join Holistic Harmony, that's even better because we're so joyful in general. But creating your joy is a huge opportunity to, again, monitor your thoughts and decide what you want to judge as being good, bad, or just neutral. As a matter of fact, in William Shakespeare's Hamlet, he says that there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. So our thinking makes our world. And why not create a happy, joyful world? Then there's also the Indian philosopher Jaidu Krishnamurti, and he's noted as saying the ability to observe without evaluating is the highest form of intelligence. Oh, there's a fly on my toast. Oh, I see that fly. Hmm, very interesting. But I'm not going to judge it because I could get very upset about that situation. So, with these two foundational ideas, I believe that our holistic harmony of health is directly related to creating your joy because our thoughts are what create our joy. So, what happens when we fall out? Our thoughts are the language of the brain. Feelings are the language of the body. So when we have harmful thoughts, it impacts our body and it results in non health. Some people may call it stress. Over time, it becomes a biological habit. We don't even think about it because our mind goes off on its own track and our body does so many things that we haven't the slightest clue of what's going on. We have such a complicated inner space with all the enzymes, hormones, electrons, neutrons, protons, and so forth. And the vibration of the way we live in our body, we have no idea. But the one thing we can do to help keep our body on its designed track is to indeed live in a state of joy, which means we need to be very busy and industrious in creating our joy. This whole idea and work has been studied by Dr. Joseph Dispenza, and he validated these conclusions. He has done studies measuring brain waves and physiologic impact of positive and negative thoughts. He has implemented healing by creating controlled environments for his audience that regulate and remind people of the consequences of negative thoughts, and then redirecting those thoughts to positive ones. Again, I call it creating your joy. One of the first videos of my podcast addresses healthy living by considering humanity, all 8 billion people on the face of the earth. Our body serves as a bit of a role model. Can you imagine that? Our body is a prime example of living in a state of joy as long as our ideas do not get in the way. Our body has 39 billion cells that coordinate our physiology. These are cells comprising bones, organs, blood vessels, brain, digestive systems, just to mention a few. And that does not include the 40 billion cells that comprise our microbiome. If a person can live as a conglomeration of 80 billion cells in one body, why can't we live in peace on a planet that only has 8 billion people? It is a lot easier to manage the operation of one body of 80 billion cells as compared to the peaceful coordination of 8 billion people worldwide, because those 8 billion people have not yet learned to cooperate as one body of humanity. They suffer from judgmental discoordination. In the same way, our body suffers from judgmental discoordination when we give way to negative thoughts, complaints, criticisms. Our biology goes to war with our own flesh and blood. The researcher I mentioned, Dr. Joe Dispenza, healed himself from a very serious spinal injury accident by peacefully immersing himself in gratitude. Yes, it did take several months. However, surgery takes months to heal as well. And especially if you're dealing with spinal cord surgeries, the guarantee of a good, favorable outcome is not that predictable. Many other researchers have reported the miraculous ability of the body to heal itself in the health care field. I have seen countless cases of endless medications being used to correct metabolic conditions. The power of the mind to heal is highly dependent on the recipient and their ability to manage their thinking. The video included here addresses our ability to use our thinking to influence other desirable signals as receivables. Advancement with technology furthers understanding of this invisible capability of the mind. Our thoughts create a vibration, a positive vibration that can be shared with others. We attract more desirable outcomes the more we engage in gratitude. Healing the body is no different. Our body does its job so much better when immersed in peace, love, and joy. Maintaining gratitude in less favorable circumstances does not hurt either. Many factors impact our health: nutrition, sleep quality, environment. The question becomes, do we want to diligently monitor our thoughts? The sage approach is to stand guard at the portal of your mind. That is the true beginning of mastering holistic harmony, the foundation of health. This video explores how our rambling receiver, or our beliefs around circumstances that we receive in our thought and experience of life, all of those thoughts impact our health. And with that, I will share our screen here. Rambling receiver. What if we could maximize our perceptions to the point of being electronic receivers without the need for physical technology? As Einstein has noted, never discount your wonder. And the true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. What if our brain or intuition could be developed into a rambling receiver? When I think of knowledge, it reminds me of the process of taking information from the outside and storing it into a part of the brain that allows for future retrieval. When I think of intelligence, I think of an inner telling that may be related to intuition. Perhaps we recognize it internally as a possibility and then bring it forth into an external reality by talking about it or creating it. That inner telling is where I believe intel allegiance, or allegiance to our inner telling, matters. Could it be a form of communication being sent to our inner self beyond what is of common understanding, common practice? Here is an example. I enjoy singing in the choir. However, I'm not a great reader of music. I will listen and watch the director carefully. I almost believe that I can read her mind and anticipate her notes, or perhaps I'm just a fraction of a second behind her. I can sing what she is singing without using musical notes and timing on my page. Sounds strange, but it gets me through the experience. Am I being a rambling receiver? Perhaps I'm mirroring. I have experienced from time to time intense thoughts of others that I have had communications with or need communications with, and they call me. Could they be receiving my brain waves telepathically and responding to the urge to communicate? Are they being rambling receivers? On my daily walks, I contemplate solutions to various challenges that I choose to master. In the process, a bright idea or even a crazy idea will cross my mind. At that moment, I will casually catch a glimmer of a coin on the sidewalk or street as I walk. The coin incidence of some resolution to my question and the coin appearance cannot be denied. Sometimes the coin is a nickel, penny, dime, quarter. Often it is several of them close together. Am I becoming a rambling receiver? As I ramble, does that mean the answer to my passionate question was more favorable the more the coins appear? Was that just a coin incidence? Some say those coins just mean it's time for a change, Lisa. When reading the Bible, the whole concept of God is completely invisible, a product of imagination. Prayer requests are realized in notable time. Did the answer come because of my request? Was God sitting around waiting for me to ask for it so he could give it to me? Was I ready to receive what he was already planning on providing? Because of this whole intel concept, does intelligence arise out of a frequent exploration of the imagination? Can we get better at living by imagining more? There is so much out there to be, do, and have. Why do some people have all there is in their own possibility when they're just as human as their next door neighbor? Is there something missing in the belief of deserving, belief of receiving? Does our life really reflect who we are, or are we only what we believe we can be? I can see that the ones who read a lot seem to be more imaginative. Is that because the words create memorable images in their brain? Do they think in pictures? Is it possible to see without a vision? Or does a vision define what we see? My immediate consideration is that intelligence is an inner resource that can be maximized for future harvest. Our brain is an infinite muscle of inner fineness. Viktor Frankl, in his book, Man's Search for Meaning, invites how our life is not what the world offers, but what we offer the world. My inclination is to maximize the inner resource of growth and change instead of wallowing in stagnation. Regardless of the circumstance, how the result is received truly depends on how we choose to ramble. The dictionary defines rambling as to grow in a random, unsystematic fashion. That would reinforce the need to stay flexible and adventurous in an unconventional environment. In my mind, it helps to solidify the benefits of using our inner telling of what to do and how to react instead of letting the circumstances dictate our outcome or result. That is an empowering perspective. Let us celebrate as many opportunities as possible to create and restructure our day to day experiences by becoming more imaginative. Why not take in all that life has to offer so we can contribute in a memorable way to others by being a rambling receiver? What do you say? Give it a try.